Oh, come on. Don't be a poor sport. Come on, man. That kid is just, well, yeah, that kid is just annoying. Wow. Wow. Well, welcome to Education 101. Janos, how to heal. Here you go. Honestly, yeah, I would say, yeah. Welcome to what you don't do in coaching. You don't do it while the game is going, because that can ruin experience for others. Especially if you're in the lower ranks, because that can ruin the mindset. Yeah, this Ramatra, yeah, I don't usually emote anybody, to be honest. But, like, don't be sexist if you want to be a good Ramatra. Tip, it's easy. And also, by the way, I mentioned a joke that made everyone laugh where I said, Eep, the Ramatra didn't get his lunch bill, so he cranky now. I didn't do anything toxic other than that. Keep in mind, this is a match where the Ramatra and a Mercy are a duo. The Mercy was pocketing most of the tank, in case you wonder why it dies as much. It expects just DPS do everything, even though she is supposed to pocket us. Because it's a lot safer option than not pocketing a tank. Even a support would have been a better option. I never report players in Player vs. AI, but this was the only person I had to report. Let's just say they were, at best, people just trying to get me to be the slave. Yeah, that is not a good thing. And luckily, I reported the player, and I told everyone to report the player too. So yeah, and guess what? He left the game because he was so scared of the report button. Well, that's all it took. I wasn't joking about this one when I said, "How do you make a soldier feel useless?" And you can tell, if you see on each match, you notice that half the time I wasn't healing much. And that's because at the beginning, at the start, I didn't really care about it because I thought Juno was there. But later on in the match, Juno was kept disconnecting or doing barely any heals. So I had to step up and take her role on Soldier. And I did a lot more healing than her afterwards. I'm not even joking. And let's just say, as soon as Juno did one good moment, one, by the way, and so, by the way, these are the complaints that the tanks had and the TPS with me, because I had to be the one step in. And no matter what I did, even if I focused on healing more than doing damage and do more healing than kills, I stepped up as a teammate. And if they don't see that, then what is wrong with them? And this is also the excellence match was the Mora. Let's just say that match I almost cried, and I don't cry normally over a video game. Had to do everything, and I still get blamed for some. And if they're wondering why I haven't done a lot of kills, it's because I had to step up as to do heals. Like, I had no choice, and even if I did play enough, I still get complained in that match. Like, it didn't matter. It was very sad to where, in with anyone that I'm in the working with next on, Sam, I was a lot happier with, even if I lose. Like, that's how bad the match was, where I had to step up, and that's how much I was downgraded because I stepped up my game as a teammate. So, sorry about that. I just need to get out of the way. What was that in that match? And why does it look like I am the wrong? But, however, keep in mind, Juno was disconnecting and not doing much half the time. She only had one good moment, while I had multiples of helping the team. So, anyways, sorry for, like, keeping this going about this part. So, I'm just gonna move on to the next part. If you were not up to date on my channel I do Dutch Club on, I have two partners. One of them is the one with that's the flags on Lucio. I'm the drunk guy with the flags, and my other partner is the one taking the photo. That's just the scene I want to make, basically. It's more of a couple thing, basically. Even though, no, I did not make this picture. But yes, I put the flags on the arms, forehead, and the other arms. I also did mention my partner's name, so it's kind of what you see the picture instead of the Discord thing, so don't worry about it. Even though I am wrong in this situation a bit, where I shouldn't have told Kiri to go DPS role, but however, two wrongs don't make it right either, because these two apparently are duos. They're two supports, and they had each other's back, and apparently, if you're an idiot, tanks are supposed to peel for the supports. DPS are actually supposed to peel for the supports, because it makes a lot more sense, and tanks had to stay up front, not deal with the back line. Another support saw this she didn't agree with me on the problem, but she agreed with me that the tanks are not supposed to peel for the supports. It's a DPS, and I tried to appeal. To make sure the Mercy wasn't suffering as much, I had to be the bait instead. I was playing Soldier, by the way, at the time. So, yeah, you could probably guess. We were supposed to lose there, but we won because the tank was good. I know I mentioned my downs, so let me mention my ups too. I had a Smurf in this match. A Smurf, that's Ash, was a Pocket, who's Mercy. You know what makes it funny, though? Me and the Ryan are terrible at our roles. Same with the Zen. So, it was just if I lost. Not because me, Tank, and the Zen are bad. It's because we had a Smurf. So, guess what? Even if the Mercy was right about we should have well, she is not even right because the way she said it was like, how are you two playing DPS and tank? Something like that. Honestly, you can't even blame Ryan for throwing the game because of Smurf. And by the way, in case you're wondering why I keep zooming in the stuff, it's because I don't give the people on the server pictures on and screenshots some privacy. So, anyways, let's just move on. This actually was the stadium match where I had redemption arc, where I was from a guarantee just a support learning DPS for the first time to a decent assassin that is great at deflection. I'm not even joking. And this was back in season 16. I don't have the code for it anymore, so if you know why, it's very obvious that there's no code about it. But this should have at least enough evidence that I did have redemption art a little bit. You know what I mean. I had two stories on this one, where one of them was basically there was someone new to the game who was in here for 2 seasons on comp, just 2, having ego, and I won against that player because he had a huge ego. Anyways, on the second story, it was a Smurf or a cheater, basically. And I kept painting the characters so many times because they kept hitting so accurately that they also left, basically, because of how many pings they were getting. If that's fair enough, because keep in mind, this was probably a gold or a silver, so the aim should not really be that great on Kiri. So when I kept seeing Kiriko keep going after the backline so much, when we kept winning against Kiriko eventually, Anyways, let's get back to story 1. Story 1, here are the texts that's been going on at that match, and sometimes you can keep count if they have ego, but the person they keep a count on didn't even have ego. So yeah, you do have to feel bad a little bit because he didn't say anything to that player. So yeah, and here's the mine. This player's only been on 2 seasons, and it was downgrading someone. If the impressive this player is backing up the skill by carrying the team. She did nothing. And then you hear the background noise where'd the upper roll? It's I'm gonna blame this one. I'm gonna blame this player who is having his back. I'm gonna blame anybody who had that player's back. That's basically this player's ego. Yeah, the cheater was very obvious in this match, if I be honest. Here's the mine, I only be happy that we lost if there is a cheater or a very toxic person or or someone who is exposed bad colors. Keep this in mind, this match, I was playing racquetball mostly, so my job was to annoy the enemy team as much as possible. It's not necessary to get kills or, get the backlane. I had to be a menace. So these players have no right to be complaining. Welcome to the stupidest thing I ever heard. Playing the Doomfist, even though, not the fact that Juno has 11 deaths, not the fact Juno isn't good at positioning, not the fact Juno is bad, the fact that I was Doomfist. Like, you can put the Doomfist line like, you're joking. I'm not even joking. Like, come on. You gotta be kidding me. You don't see me helping you out? If I was there not helping you out, then yeah, you have every right to say so. But I was helping you out. What do you mean? I remember this one. Our take was making everyone's day. Like, even if he was easily reportable, like, come on. Like, this was hilarious. Trust me, the tank was just going like, running slow, going like, sorry kids, I gotta run to school. Give me a second. In this match, let's just say, no matter what healing you would do to these three, they would just die no matter what. Like, there is nothing me and your support can do. So much so that where the other support left, I was just there, like, being put the blame on, like, so much. They were so aggressive. Like, I can't keep. This is first time I got to 20,000 healing on Life Fever. Not the first time in general, just first on Life. The best highlight intro in game. It's like, hey! I saw this and I basically felt sad. Like, this is not something you see every day, and it's sad when it's Aaron who says it, to be honest. This match I started with Mercy and doing damage boosts like I'm normally supposed to do. And let's just say I wasn't doing much because I wasn't doing much was going on, so I had to swap to Lucio and just do some DPSing. And let's just say I ran into a Laurie who was sexist. And let's just say I got first-hand experience of a Mercy main, one trick. Basically got Mercy treatment, I could get treated bad in that match, basically. This best describes everything about that match, basically. Me and my rivalry with the Arcane bot on Discord. Basically just my opinion and just how I feel. This match that I was in on Wrecking in this match, I was actually doing pretty well on Wrecking Ball. The only major mistake I made was swap to Sigma, basically. Let's just say, they think I was not doing much a lot, which is a classic thing if you're Wrecking Ball, or Doomfist, or Mercy, or Tracer, because they don't see you do much damage or kills. That is a classic for tanks because, well, if there's no Reinhardt in front of them, they just blame you right off the bat instead of pointing up. This is basically the highlight of my teammates on that match, basically, when I was ranking ball. And though, yes, I didn't know there was a Tracer with a Winston, but still, he had 2 DPS and 2 supports, none of them being Mercy, so you shouldn't have no problem getting rid of those 2. Especially if it's just a Winston, like, be real. Anyways, in this final match, doing in this video is basically this soldier is actually just, just going like, hey, what's up? In a comp match, by the way. Not a quick play. Not player versus AI. This is not AI. Not a bot. This is just someone who actually is a bot for some reason. I don't know. But, yeah, that describes it. Anyways, come on. Who is the best girl in the game? Obviously, Ramacha. Let's be real. You look good in that outfit. She look good, girl, and Malari has probably the best skin, in my opinion. Other than Life Fever. Let's be honest, Claire Life Fever is the best skin in general. Anyways, this won't ever be replaced in my heart. On the grand finale! This one. And a quick play match. I know I haven't posted content on this channel for a while, so hope you guys can enjoy this video, and if you feel like leaving a subscribe, comment down below, go right ahead. Anyways, see you guys next time with some more. Bye!